Hey guys, welcome back to dressyourfacelive.com. We are back with a really fun class that you guys all requested, which is how to clip in hair extensions properly, how to prep them, and how to put them in so that they're not detectable to other people looking at your hair. So I'm going to show you all the secrets to applying your hair extensions in the best way possible, and it should last all night and you should not be worried about anything falling or anything showing. It's going to be pretty amazing. So for those of you who are signed in, ready to go, I want you to go ahead and ask your questions on this post on Instagram, this video post that I just made on my Instagram page. Go ahead and ask your hair questions there, and you can ask some makeup questions too if you'd like, but remember how the last class we did not do a Q&A because of how long the class was? I'm actually going to be answering some of the makeup questions at the end of this session as well. So for now, while we're actually working together, my lovely model, Amitash D, I'm going to tag her on my Snapchat after class too, so you can easily find her. And I tagged her in my video as well, so you can find her there. She actually took my course. She's a Dress Your Face Live student as well. And she's from Northern California, the Sacramento area, and she does makeup as well. And so I really loved working with her last time she was in LA. I glammed her up for, was it your cousin's wedding?
Yeah.
And she had my extensions and my, everything, and it just all looked so good on her. And I was like, you know what, why don't you come back to LA? Let's use you. You're a great model, because she has the same problem I do. We have really, really thin hair. And for us, we really want to create a fuller, more voluminous look. And I thought that would be perfect for you to see the before and after on Amitash D. So you can definitely find her, show her some love, and thank her for flying all the way out here to LA just to be your guys' model, So that's really incredible. Again, you can ask your questions on this latest hair video post on my page, so I can go ahead and do that. And what she's going to be doing is, while I'm working on her hair during the parts that are redundant, the curling and curling and curling, there's only so much we can really explain about it. So during the times that are really redundant, I'm going to have her ask your questions for me so that I can go ahead and answer them during those dull moments, so we can just continue having a great time together. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Let me show you the tools that we're going to be using today so you guys know. So I'm going to be using the Tamana hair extensions. This can be found on BombayHair.com. As you guys know, I was so proud of this launch, and we keep selling out. We literally cannot keep stock. It's insane. But I do have a coupon code for you guys. It's a limited coupon code, meaning it's going to expire within the next few days or so. So if you're watching this as a recording later, you can try the coupon code, see if it works. But don't be surprised if it's already expired by then. So this is mainly for you live members out there that are watching. If you end up falling in love with these hair extensions, which I'm sure you will, if you don't already have them, you can absolutely order them, even though they are on back order. That just means that you have to wait a couple extra weeks for the shipping to happen. But we are offering you a little thank you, which is the discount code OMBRE10. So OMBRE10, you can enter that at checkout to save on your hair extension. So this is what the box looks like, and the coolest part is it also comes with a detangling brush that you can use to brush through your hair. It comes with an entire pack of the ombre hair extensions. This color is number 2 to it's 1C to 18. So this is Black Espresso to Dirty Blonde, which is the second darkest root shade that we carry. And it also comes with a test strip. So this test strip is meant for you to try the color up against your hair. So you're supposed to open it up. Do not open the little ties on it, the little gold ties, because that would mean that you're not going to be able to exchange or return it. So we have to keep healthy according to health code for our exchanges and returns. So what this is for is you'd open it up without taking off these gold things, and you would put it up against your hair to see if it matches, and if it is a good match, ta-da, then you would keep it and enjoy it. And if you want to exchange it, as long as the gold things are still on it, you can absolutely send everything back and BombayHair.com will send you the one that you actually need. So this is how it all works. We're also going to be using my BombayHair.com Tamana styling set. So this is the wand base, and it actually comes with 3 different size wand barrels. So this is a medium size. So we have a thinner one, we have the 1 inch, which is this one, and then we have the larger one, which is 1 1/4 inch. So you literally just clip it into place and then you lock it so it doesn't come back out. And then you're gonna be able to turn on the heat on the wand. This is the Tamana wand on BombayHair.com, and you can go and proceed on curling. This wand is pretty amazing because it heats up really quickly. There is a warranty on it as well, so there's no risk, in case it doesn't work for you or in case something happens, you can absolutely get a new one with your warranty. And so that's that. And as far as the brushes are concerned, I really love the Layla Milani Miracle Brush, which is super, super soft and does not hurt when you're detangling, and the Layla Milani Teasing Comb as well. So these are my tools of choice, along with the entire hair set that we're going to be using today. So I want to show you exactly how everything needs to be placed. Now the Tamana ombre extensions, as well as most hair extension sets out there, we come with 10 pieces. So I'm going to show you those pieces now. I'm going to open up my pack. So here's a fresh pack, never been opened before. As you can see, the little gold thingies are still on it. And I'm also going to go ahead and open up the test strip pack because this is a piece that would be included in the set. Now, I'm going to open up these gold things, and I love that this is so silky. One thing you're going to realize and notice from the Tamana hair extension set is that it is just as thick on the roots as it is on the ends. There are no stringy, damaged ends. They're super thick and heavy, very, very healthy and shiny and bouncy. And the fact that there are highlights in the middle. So there's a solid color and a solid color on end to end. But in the middle, instead of a middle color, you have a mixture of the dark solid and the light solid, which are highlighted through, which looks like a real true balayage application that you would get at a salon and pay hundreds and hundreds up to $1,000 for, depending on where you're getting it. So this is how amazing the blend and the quality is. Super thick, amazing color, and it comes in so many colors, of course, too. But this is the color that matches her best. So as far as the pieces, let's count and see what they look like. So we're going to open this up together as if we are looking at it for the first time. So I'm going to have you actually be my assistant and hold these extra pieces here. Okay. So there's going to be 2 pieces with the 4 clips. This is the longest, widest piece there is in the set. So as you can see, there is 1, 2, 3, 4 clips. There's also like a little rubber backing behind the clip, which basically means that you don't have to tease your hair in order for the clips to stay in place. You can actually just stick it in your hair, clip it, and because of this little rubber backing, it's going to hold onto your own silky hair really well without the need for teasing. Although in this class I am going to show you how to tease in case you do not have my hair extensions and you have another brand that may not have the rubber backing. I want you to be able to use them with no fear as well. So there's that one, and there's actually another one here. So the set comes with 2 of these, but one is just a little bit shorter than the other. So let me show you. See how one is just a little wider and this one's just a little shorter. Okay, so there's various sizes available. Now this one is a 3 clip. So it'll come with a couple of these that are in a 3 clip. And here they are. Thank you. These are identical, exactly the same. These are the 3 clips. A little bit shorter width than the 4 clips. And now we have the singles as well. There are also 2 clips, but we're gonna jump into the singles. There are 4 single clip pieces. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And these are for the front and straggly areas that you may just want a few pieces of highlights in.
Do you want this one open?
Oh yes, let me go ahead and open that with my crazy pointy nails. So in this tester, here I'm gonna give you these. Thank you. This is a tester set, and this is where the 2 clip ones are. So we have 1 2 clip, and we have the other 2 clip. These are identical too. So as you saw, we have 2 of the 4 clip pieces, we have 2 of the 3 clip pieces, we have 2 of the 2 clip pieces, and we have 4 of the single clip pieces where you can move them around and kind of decide where you want those extra strands to be. When I'm doing someone's hair, sometimes I don't even use those single ones unless I really need to. I'll just skip those altogether and only use the others, but in this class I'm going to use the entire set so you know exactly where to put them. So there is that. Now I would like to show you how I prep the hair extensions. So what I like to do is I like to have either a hanger clip, you know those pant hangers that just have clips? We actually sell hangers as well on BombayHair.com, hair hangers. And it would just, you know, it has like a clasp, and it would just hold the hair straight up so you can just hang it somewhere and curl your hair accordingly. I find it easier to curl your hair extensions first and then leave them flat on a table so it can stay curled, and then curl the rest of your hair and then go ahead and clip them in already curled so it's easier to style. Instead of having your straight hair, clipping them in, and then curling all your hair, it can end up kind of messing up the rest of your hair because you're kind of going back and forth with the clips, and the clips can kind of move around if you're pulling too much. So it is better to go ahead and prep your hair separately, prep the clip-in hair extensions separately, and then join them together at the end. It'll make your life so much easier. So now I'm going to show you how I prep the hair. So she's going to be holding these straight out, and I'm just going to show you on this section, and then I will show you from the video earlier that we posted. These are the ones that we ended up using in the video, which is exactly the same thing, but these are the curled ones. So I'm going to show you how we curl them now. So I'm going in with my wand, and I'm going to start off with one end, and I'm going to work my way over. So I'm just wrapping them nice and tight, and I'm going to hold it down. Fresh hair, especially fresh hair that are from clip-in extensions, need a little extra seconds, like a few extra seconds to get that curl down the first time. Once you wait about 30 seconds or less for the curl to start forming on your wand, then you can just let it go in your hand. Bounce the curls to cool them off. Do not let the curls go unless they are cooled off. So I'm testing and checking the heat. It's still hot, so I'm going to blow on it to cool it down. And now I can let it go, and you can see how bouncy this curl is. Now, because we waited for it to cool down, the curl is not going to open up much by the time I am ready to put it in her hair, because we literally locked the heat in place, we locked the curl in place, waited for everything to cool down, and now it's not going to change at this point. Those other curled hair pieces that I just showed you on the camera, that was curled yesterday when we were doing the promo video, and that stayed even after she brushed all of it out today. All the curls stayed because I waited for them to really lock into place before I released them. So we're going to continue by curling every section after that. So I'm holding it down. We're going to keep it on for maybe 30 seconds. Usually I can feel the heat. If it is like scorching hot within a couple seconds, I'll use a little less time on it. If it's not so hot and I'm touching it with my finger to kind of test the surface heat of the hair, if it's not so hot, then I'm going to leave it on for a little bit longer until I feel that real hot touch on the very top of the hair here. And now that I feel it, I'm gonna let it go into my hand, bounce it, because I need some air to pass through it for it to cool down. Plus I don't wanna burn my hand, right? So I'm gonna bounce it so that I'm not like burning. And I'm gonna blow. Cool it down, let it really lock in. And now I'm releasing, and now you can see how gorgeous these two curls are already. So we're gonna continue on throughout the entire side here until we finish up, and then I'm gonna show you what we're gonna do to finish the rest of the hair. One way that I save time is I'll go ahead and curl all this hair, and then as I'm curling Amitash's hair, my model's hair, or my own hair, when I get to the areas where I want to clip in the hair extension, I'll go ahead and curl my hair, tease it a little bit, and then clip in the hair extension. And then I'll take my next section of hair, curl it, tease it, and then throw in my hair extension. So we can absolutely throw in the hair extensions as we're working on our model's hair itself, just to save a little time. Or you can have your own hair prepped already, then prep this, or prep this first and then prep your own, and then start clipping in as needed. So we're gonna let this cool, let it down. Now we're on to the second half. And notice how I'm doing 2 pieces at a time. I don't wanna waste so much time by doing this over and over, and poor thing, her hands and arms are gonna be super sore and tired by the end of this if I only went 1 by 1. So I'm gonna go 2 by 2 just to make my life easier and act as if it's just 1 piece. If I do 3 pieces at a time or 4 pieces at a time, we are risking having way too much hair on the wand at once. So the curl may not end up being perfect. So in that case, we're just not going to do it that way. We're only going to stick to either 1 piece at a time or 2 pieces. Of course, 2 pieces is double the speed, so might as well use 2 pieces. And now I'm going to let go of my hand, cool it down, bounce, bounce, bounce. Make sure it's really losing its heat. The heat has to escape the curl before we let it go. Blow it to speed up that process if you don't have time for this. And also keep in mind, like I said, BombayHair.com, we sell hair hangers as well as the hair extension wardrobe cover. So you can absolutely store your hair extensions and hang them in a very neat and organized manner if you have those type of accessories. But if you don't want to go that route, you can absolutely use pant hangers to hold on to your hair extensions in bunches. And does make life a little bit easier too. So let me test the heat. I'm just touching the surface to make sure it's super, super hot. Once I feel that surface heat, I'm gonna let it go of my hand and continue with the bouncing and the cooling off. Giving it a nice little blow. As far as the actual hair extensions are concerned, they are human hair, so you can absolutely color them and tone them according to your own hair color. This color, which is the black espresso to dirty blonde, is the perfect shade range for Amitash. Although her highlights, her balayage has a little bit more warmth in it, like a little bit more caramel tones in there as well, but it still blends in beautifully because those caramel tones that she has, as you'll see in this class, as you're brushing them through with your hands and you're brushing her hair through the clip-in hair, it really blends in beautifully. So even if your hair isn't exactly the color of the clip-in extensions, as long as you do what we're doing today, they'll blend in really nicely and you don't have to worry. But if you are picky like me and you want it to be exact match, then you can absolutely tone them. The extensions that we're using today have not been toned. These are the true color right out of the box. Some of the ways that you can tone them is to buy hair toner at your local beauty supply store and treat this as if it's a real customer's hair or your own hair, and you go ahead and just tone it with some developer as well. Leave it on for however many minutes is needed and then wash it off as normal. Another way you can tone it, if you want it more of a cooler tone, is you can use a purple shampoo over your blonde hair pieces and it'll become more silvery. So I love a silver tone, as you can see with my hair. I love silvers and cool tones. So I love to use purple shampoo for my hair extensions at home. or for my own hair to keep it as cool as possible. Other things you could do is you could also bleach them, create your own highlights on them, dye them darker if you need to. Whatever it is that your heart desires, you can do it with real human hair extensions like these. So now, let me just blow this. We are done with this section. Thank you, my lovely. We are done with this. You can see how bouncy and curly and beautiful this hair ended up looking with these hair extensions. And mind you, okay, now I'm splitting them and they're still looking amazing. And these are only 2 pieces. So imagine how thick the Tamana Ombre Extensions pack is when it comes with 10 pieces. These are just 2 of the medium-sized pieces, and this is a lot of hair. Like, this is how much hair I have on my whole head, pretty much. Yeah, it's sad, but you know, it's the reality for a lot of us. So on some of my clients, I don't even use the whole pack. Like I said, I'll use half a pack on some of my clients as well. But I really want you to see how a whole pack looks on Amitash. So I'm gonna put this aside. We already have an entire set of hair that is fully ready. So we're gonna use that pack from yesterday. So it comes with a double clip. These are the 2 double clips. There's the 2 3-clip, oh no, wait. These are the 2 3-clip pieces. And these are the 2 4-clip pieces. And here are the 4 single-clip pieces. Ta-da, right in here. So we're going to put them all together and we're going to eventually put them in her hair, but I want to talk to you guys first a little bit more about some other things that I feel are very important when it comes to putting on your hair extensions. So depending on how much hair we have on the head and how much space we have to work with, you may or may not be able to use an entire set the way it's supposed to go. So I'm going to turn her around so you can see the back of her head, and I'm going to basically show you where each piece needs to go. So imagining, I'm just going to twist her hair because I want you guys to really see where the nape of her hair is and all that stuff. I'm going to use my alligator clip from the Tamana set to keep her hair in place. So as you can see, we have on the nape of her neck, her hair only goes from here to here. Okay, that's a very small amount. But above her ear, her hair goes all the way from ear to ear. So this, if we spread out her hair on a flat sheet, it would be this wide from ear to ear, but only this wide on the nape of her neck. So the shorter pieces, like the 2-clip and the 3-clip ones, you may need to use one of those on the nape, and then the longer 4-piece ones go in the middle of the head where there's wider hair levels. So if that makes sense to you, basically, again, just to re-explain this whole thing, you want to use a 3-clip one down here, 4-clip ones up here, and then you can use the 2 clips on the side or in this middle or the singles right on top or however you want to do it. I prefer not to have any clips on the way top because sometimes when the hair splits, you can see the track. So I prefer not to use any hair extensions on the very crown. I put all my hair extensions in the middle and the nape area so that none of them show, even when the hair is wide open. So now comes time, actually before we even get started, I want to show you one more thing. Let's say you're working with someone with a smaller head, a head that doesn't have a whole lot of space to put 10 different clipped hair extensions in there. So in that case, I double up on one section, just so I can create more weight at the bottom if they're looking for more length. So if someone's looking for a long length, keep in mind, when you're putting on hair extensions, here's a straight one so it doesn't look all crazy. This is a double clip. So if you're gonna put on hair extensions and somebody wants a long length, you're not gonna put the extensions up here because that's gonna shorten the length that you're working with. You're gonna put most of the extensions towards the bottom so that the length goes on and on all the way down to her back. So see how, I'll show you on my hair too. It's not gonna match obviously, but if I put my hair extension clip somewhere in the middle, the hair extensions are gonna end up here. But if I put them all the way down towards the bottom of my hair, all of a sudden I have longer hair, all the way longer. So when you are working with hair extensions, keep that in mind if your client or yourself are looking for long hair, the maximum length that you can possibly go. Focus most of your pieces as low on the head as possible. If you're looking for more fullness and not really caring about length, then you can spread it from the low area to the middle area so it looks like layers, okay? So hopefully that explains a lot of it for you. I know a lot of you don't think about those kind of things, I mean, who would? But all these little things make a huge difference in your overall style. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. Again, please ask your questions on my latest post on Instagram because we will be checking in once we're ready. I'm gonna tell Amitash, okay, go ahead and give me a question, and she's gonna go through and she's gonna shout you out, and we're gonna say, you know, what the question is, and I'm gonna go ahead and answer it. So please, for now, let's stick with hair questions, but if you have makeup questions, feel free to ask them as well, but we'll try to keep all the makeup questions for the end of class, and for now, we're only gonna be really answering the hair questions. So first comes first, I'm going to section out the bottom of her hair. Now, the reason why I'm showing you a curly style right now is because the fact of the matter is when someone is using hair extensions, it's less obvious when all the hair is curled. When all the hair is straight, the hair extensions show more, and you can kind of tell a little difference between their real hair and their clip-in hair. So if you want your hair to blend in really perfectly with your clip-in hair, it is advised to go ahead and curl the hair and use a curly hairstyle for your clip-in hair extensions look. So I'm going to section away all this top hair out of the way. And I'm going to use the nape of the neck, and we're going to curl her hair. So this is where I'm prepping her own hair. So the same way I curled the hair extensions, I'm going to curl her hair. If you want a very beachy, wild look, you're going to curl the hair in different directions. So you can curl down one and up another, side to side, however you want to do it. It does not have to be in the same direction. Me personally, I love curling all in one direction so it looks a little bit more formal. The Hollywood wave is also done in one direction, but once you run through with your fingers, it tends to mess up the hair, and you can get that messy look simply by combing through with your nails or a wide tooth comb instead of, you know, having to switch directions when you're curling. But like I said, I like to curl all in one direction personally because it is quicker for me. I end up working with a rhythm, and I can kind of just do my thing without really having to think to switch to an opposite direction before I move on. So I'm just completing this bottom section. We're gonna just do a couple sections like this, and then as I go higher and higher, I'm gonna ask Amitash to give us some questions. And remember, always cool it down before letting it go. Notice how real hair curls a lot faster than extension hair. So I'm not keeping the heat on her real hair for too long because her real hair has been, you know, in this world for a while, meaning it's been through different heat and bleach and things like that. So because it's already slightly damaged, well, I mean, she feels so healthy and great. But typically hair is more damaged, so it doesn't need as much heat on it as extensions do, which are a little bit more resilient. Can I grab a hairspray from there? Yeah, thank you. Thanks. Perfect. So I'm using the Tresemme No. 5 hairspray. This is the Tresemme No. 5. You guys already know this is the only one I use. And I'm just gonna, you know, give it a good spray. Now, this is the part where I'm prepping her own hair to accept the hair extensions beautifully. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to take a little piece and I'm going to tease it pretty heavily right on the root, and I'm going to spray. So I'm just going to take all this top root section, teasing and just spraying those roots. Now I'm ready to actually put in one of the hair extensions. So I'm going to test and see if a 3-piece hair extension clip will fit there. If not, then I will use a 2-piece. So here's the 2-piece, okay? This is the width of the 2-piece. And here's the width of a 3-piece. So, looks like I can stick a 3-piece in here because it is fitting. The 2-piece is just a little shorter, so I'm gonna save that for the sides later. I'm gonna go ahead and clip on the 3-piece. So what I'm doing right now is I'm opening up the clips. If you can see, I'm opening up the clips so that I can literally start in the middle, shove it in the hair, and close the clip, okay? So again, the clip is open, I'm shoving it in the root of the hair, I'm feeling her scalp, and I'm closing the clip. Last piece, shoving it in the hair, making sure that the teeth of the clip go through the hair, and then I close it, okay? So here's the open clip. You're gonna go through, okay, so here's the open clip, and here's like the back of her skull, I guess. So I'm going, this is the clip, and I'm going through the hair, I'm touching her scalp, and then you can close the clip, and the clips go flat up against the scalp, and it does not slip once you do that. So make sure that the clip teeth are actually going through the hair, and they're not just sitting on the surface, otherwise it'll slip right out. Make sure the hair is actually going through all the little teeth. And now look, you can pull the hair, literally pull the hair, and nothing's coming out. I'm pulling the clips, and it's staying really, really strong, and I did not add any bobby pins to this. Everything's looking perfect. Now, when I work on my brides, I really want to make sure that nothing crazy happens. So if a little kid yanks on it really hard, then there's no guarantee. Maybe a clip can slip. So on brides, I also add bobby pins just to make sure that nothing moves. But in this case, it's very sturdy. You don't even need that. It's just for my own insurance, just so nothing crazy happens on my bride's wedding days. But this is all good. I'm ready to go. I just kind of brush through it with my fingertips, and now you can see how it blends in with her own hair so nicely, and we can move on to the next section. So now moving on, I'm just taking a slightly thin layer of hair, bringing it down, and I'm going straight across, and I'm gonna do my next section. For my next section, I'm going to use a 4-piece clip. But I'm not going to use the wide 4-piece clip. I'm going to use that shorter 4-piece clip. So let me show you both of them again. Here is the wider 4-piece clip. You can see how much space there is between every clip. And then here's the shorter 4-piece clip, which it has a shorter distance between each clip. See the difference? Wider space between each clip and shorter space between each clip. So we're gonna use a shorter one here since it'll fit perfectly, and then we can use a wider one on the next section over. Before we do that, of course, we have to curl the hair. So while I'm curling her hair, Amitash, why don't you go ahead and read out our first question? Or any question that you think would be beneficial to the class. We're just looking for a good question.
Right now, I'm saying hi.
Aw, hi everybody. There's a lot of hellos. I love you guys.
Okay, the first one is from Tanya, 90210.
Okay.
She says, what do you suggest for good shampoo and conditioner for colored hair? Doesn't leave your hair oily but hydrated?
I think shampoo, there's a few shampoos that I really love. So she's asking about shampoos for color treated hair that can leave the hair hydrated without weighing it down with oils. So there's a craze about sulfate-free shampoos. I'm not a fan of those. I know that sulfates are supposedly, like, they strip the hair of its natural oils, but again, I love a lather, and I prefer sulfate in my shampoos. But some of the shampoos that I really love, you can choose one of Laura CK's shampoos. I really love her line. It's Laura CK, Laura K, LCK Hair Care is the name of her brand. And you can find that on her page, on Laura CK's page. And basically, they have different types of shampoos for different types of hairs. I'm currently using their Marilyn Brightening Shampoo, which is the purple one, and that keeps your hair from turning yellow and orange. So if you have color treated hair, and if you have an ombre look, or if you have blonde in your hair, you want to make sure that you're using a purple shampoo just to keep it as bright as possible. And just to keep your hair from feeling too dry, you can use a moisturizing conditioner over it, but never condition the roots. Always condition the ends of your hair and the middle part of the hair shaft, so from here down, and work the conditioner through the ends of the hair, because what happens is if you're going to use a very moisturizing conditioner on your roots of the hair, it has a possibility of weighing your hair down and then looking oily throughout the day. So focus your conditioner towards the ends of your hair and focus your shampoo everywhere else.
Here's another one. Somebody's asking recommendation for volume. I just cut my hair same length as yours.
Okay.
Can you give some tips for styling?
Okay, so let me show you how I tease. I'm going to go in slow motion. So the question is how to give your hair volume on short hair. One of the things I do, first of all, is I like to wave my hair every day. So as you can see on my hair, there's a very messy wave. The way I did that is I basically just kind of took piece by piece, gave it a little bit of a, like I put dry shampoo in it too, a spray, just to make it really dry and, you know, crispy. And then I just give it a little wave and I open it right away instead of letting it cool down first. That way there's a messier wave, I can have a fuller effect. But let me show you how I tease, because I also tease the top crown of my hair. So how I tease is I take a 1-inch thick section of hair, and I'm gonna go slow motion for you guys. I go in a couple inches up and I push down. I literally push it. I push the tease all the way down to the root of the hair, to the point where my bristles of my comb cannot go farther down. Like it gets stuck about 1 inch above the hair. So I keep doing that until there's about 1 inch of stuck hair there. And then I give it a little spray, and you can see, I'm going to turn her to the side so you can really see how much volume we just put here. So you can see how this hair literally just jumps out and creates this, like, see that, how it's standing up and all the other hair is flat? You can see over here the hair is flat, and over here, because I tease it so strongly, even if I push it down, it bounces right back up. Push it down, bounce back up. So you want to tease it in a way, I'm going to do it again on this side. You want to tease it in a way that you're literally pushing all this matted hair, literally pushing it down to the roots of the hair all the way so that the bristles can't go farther down, and then you spray it. So we're going to resume the questions after a few more minutes. I'm going to show you some more stuff here. So now that the hair is teased, which it really didn't need to be this teased, but I wanted to show you to answer your question. Now it's ready for us to put on some hair extensions. So the next piece, like I told you, is going to be the shorter 4-piece one, which is this piece right over here. I'm just going to use my fingers to open up the curls, and then I'm going to start in the middle section, making sure that the teeth of the clip are going through the hair, and then I clip it into place. I close the clip. So now all this is nice and strong. I'm gonna brush through with my fingernails to make sure her own hair is blended through the extensions. And now we're gonna move on to the next section. I'm just gonna go a little bit higher now. Not too much, we just want maybe 1 inch or less space in between, especially if you're looking for long length. You want to keep most of the hair on the lower half of the hair so that you're really extending every section nicely. All right, so now that we have all this hair, we're gonna get it out of the way. I'm gonna curl this, and while I curl this section, let's find one more question. again, I'm just curling the same exact way I've been curling this whole time. We're gonna let it get a little hot and I'm gonna release it in my hand, cool it down before I move on to the next curl.
Okay, someone's asking about the extensions.
Okay.
It's Adiba Tahir.
Okay, Adiba Tahir too.
Hey Tamana, I have waist length hair and I'm intending to grow it more. Would these be too short for my hair length? Will you come out with longer extensions?
Okay, so someone's asking if I'm going to come out with longer extensions because somebody has waist length hair. So if you have waist length hair, the hair extensions that I have so far in my collection are 20 inches. It is going to be shorter than your waist length hair if your waist length hair is much longer than that. So I would suggest waiting till we come out with the longer pieces. We are in the process of creating 24 inches, which is a pretty good step up from the 20 as far as length is concerned. Of course, the longer we go, the pricier it's going to be and the heavier the hair quality is going to be and the rarer the hair is going to be, because as you go longer and longer, it's harder to find virgin hair that way. So we are working on sourcing the hair, making sure everything's perfect and creating it. It is going to most likely happen this year, 2016. And up until then, you can absolutely use these extensions, but it's not really going to be to add length for your hair. It's going to be more about the volume and creating a little bit more fluff on your hair.
One more?
One more, yeah, let's do one more question.
Somebody's asking, I think it's FURWA01. Can you teach how to put extensions on really short hair?
Okay, so they're asking about an extension class for super short hair. I can absolutely do that. I would be happy to add that to the class, but keep in mind it's basically going to be the same exact steps that I'm doing right now, except for really short hair, I would be curling it with curling the real hair with a straightener, because on really short hair it's very hard to wrap it around a wand. So in that case, I'll be using a straightener to curl it or to flatten it up so it blends into the hair extensions. But I can definitely add that class to the syllabus. Okay, so now we're nearing the last section. So I'm just gonna curl this, wait a couple seconds for it to get nice and hot, and then we're gonna release it. And I'm gonna clip in the larger 4-clip piece into it. So I'm gonna release it, let it cool off. We're gonna spray. And I'm going to tease the roots, just in case you guys don't have my hair extensions that have the rubber backing. Some hair extensions out there don't have that, or they have a rubber backing that's actually not even real rubber, it's plastic, and so it'll slip right over that too. Ours is actual like soft silicone rubber, so it won't slip.
It does, it stays.
It stays.
I've done it without teasing my hair, and
Yeah.
it stays.
I love
It
that.
doesn't move.
Thank God, right? Because a lot of times we don't have time to sit there and tease, and it's so hard when you're doing it on yourself.
It is.
How do you know which areas to tease and if you're doing it enough unless you have someone doing it for you? So it's definitely easier to just go with the right stuff. All right, here is the 4-piece clip that I'm going to put in. I'm going to start in the middle, clip it right in. Now I'm using the side pieces, making sure that the teeth go right through the hair and nothing can go off. And now I'm just using my nails to separate the curls and make it look like waves. And now you can see how beautiful, look at that. It all blends into her own hair. And this is only, what have we done so far? Just 4 pieces, right? No, 3 pieces. We did a 3-piece, a 4-piece, and a 4-piece. So we have 3 pieces of hair in her own hair, and look how heavy and full her hair is already. This is insane. Like, I'm almost afraid to use the whole pack on you today.
It's a lot of hair.
It is a lot of hair. All right, so I'm going to take down my next section. And I'm going to prep this hair, and while I prep this hair, we'll go ahead and maybe find 2 or 3 questions. Yeah, Yeah, if we run out of hair questions, I'm happy to answer some makeup questions. We're done with that one, right? So I think this is the last one. Yeah. Okay. So I am going to be answering. Oh, thank you. We're going to go through and answer some makeup questions as well. If we find any more hair questions, we're going to go ahead and answer those too. Those will take preference right now, but makeup questions is fine. Oh, by the way, a lot of you are asking what happened to the hair video. A lot of the questions in here is like, okay, what happened to the hair video? I saw the makeup video. If you were on my live airing, you saw the whole thing. We did everything. But the video file for the hair class is taking a long time to upload. We're having some issues with the file itself. So we're getting the file repaired. If it does not repair, we're just gonna go ahead and reshoot the class because I'm not gonna let you guys go through without learning everything that I taught in that class. It was pretty amazing. So worst case scenario, we'll reshoot it and we're gonna have it uploaded as soon as possible, but don't worry, we're not gonna let you miss this class. We are going to make sure if the video file is unable to be recovered, we are going to reshoot it sometime in the next week or two. And you will be able to see it. And if there's any issues, you can absolutely contact my customer service. By the way, you can contact them on the homepage, right on the bottom it says contact, and you can definitely email them and they're happy to take care of any of your questions. I literally have the best customer service team. For those of you who have gone through customer service before, you guys probably already know how amazing they are and how helpful they are. So they can definitely help out with that. But in the meantime, just stay patient with me because I'm also very upset that technology is still technology. It's still something that we can't fully control. And when files get damaged or a microchip doesn't read or whatever the heck, I mean, there's really nothing we can do except for try to recover it using different companies that do that. So if they cannot get this file recovered, we are gonna reshoot it the exact same way. Don't worry, you will not miss a thing, okay? So let's go ahead and answer a question.
Okay. Beauty_Bay is asking, how do you do very bushy undone eyebrows? Most of my clients are coming with thick unplucked eyebrows.
Ooh, good question. Okay, so she has clients that literally come in with thick, unplucked, bushy eyebrows. And that's really frustrating because as a makeup artist, you realize that if someone's eyebrows are undone, it can ruin the entire eye makeup look. So some of the best ways, if your client is literally like not wanting to do their eyebrows for whatever reason, whether it's a religious reason or a personal reason or whatever it is, if they are not willing to get their eyebrows done before your appointment or not willing to get their eyebrows done at all, then you can try using a concealer, a full coverage concealer around the small eyebrow hairs that are surrounding, and then set it with a really off-white, almost white eyeshadow or powder to just kind of hide some of that hair. But honestly, like I tell my clients to come prepared. So no mustache, no extra hairs around the eyebrows. Everything needs to be ready for me so that when I do put on the makeup, it looks smooth and it can really just look amazing no matter what. So that is something that you have to communicate to them. But again, if it's too late and let's say it's their wedding day and they're already in your chair and they don't have plucked eyebrows, offer to do it for them or to have them do it in the bathroom. And if they still refuse to do it, which I just don't understand that, but you know, everyone's different, then try the concealer tricks and setting it with a really light toned eyeshadow. But do not use shimmer because that's gonna show the hairs more. Use a matte eyeshadow or a matte face powder, full coverage, to set your concealer to hide the hair.
There's another question that says contouring and highlight colors for pale skin. I sometimes have to literally use white to highlight.
Okay, so for pale skin, you can absolutely use white to highlight. If white is the only color that's actually going to show up as a highlight on your skin, there's no problem in you using it. There's a lot of contour kits out there that have colors in there that are pretty much almost white. So that would be your tone. You know, you can try the Morphe palette. It comes with a white color and a peach color. So you can mix those two to create your own tone. Anastasia Beverly Hills has a bunch of colors. One of them would be like vanilla or something like that, which would be an off-white tone. Or you can go to MAC and buy actual face powders, like full coverage powders, such as some of the tones from Studio Fix, like NC20 and things like that, or NC5, or whatever they have, the lightest tones, NC15s, and use that as your highlights instead of a traditional highlight powder, and then that way you have a few more colors to choose from. And for contour, same thing, just don't go too dark. For pale skin, one of the things I noticed is that a lot of colors out there turn very orange on pale skin, so you want to choose a color that has a little bit of a gray undertone so that it doesn't look too bright on you.
Here's another makeup question.
Okay.
What's the best liner and brush to use for winged eye on a client? Gel, liquid, or what do you recommend?
So for winged eyeliner, because I have a lot of experience with different types of products, I'm comfortable with using a liquid or a gel or whatever. But one of the ones that I find very, very easy for me is using a gel liner, like the Inglot 77 or like any of the gel liners. And the brush would be like the winged eyeliner brush from Sigma. So go to Sigma and online, sigmabeauty.com, and they have this brush called the winged liner brush, and it's a great shape for a nice winged eyeliner. And I do have another eyeliner that I recently started using that I like a lot. It's the Tarte Paint eyeliner. It's basically in a tube. So instead of opening up a gel jar that can dry up over time, this gel eyeliner is in a tube that you just squeeze out and put onto the back of your hand or on a palette, and then you can dip your brush in it, and it will never dry out because it's in a tube. So try that, and it's a super black color. It's amazing. I really love it. So now we're going to move on to the next section of the hair. Again, going back in, doing a little bit of teasing. I just sprayed her hair. So we're going to tease and spray the roots. Tease, spray the roots. Tease, spray the root. And we're going to continue doing this all the way around. Just a little bit. You don't have to tease like crazy. Remember how I was showing you how I create fuller, more volume hair by teasing like crazy until my bristles don't go all the way? You don't have to do that with this. Just a little bit of teasing is fine, or no teasing at all if you're using the Tamana Ombre. You don't have to tease at all. So now on this section, I am done with my 4 clips, so I don't have any more 4 clips. I've only used 1 3 clip. I think what I want to do in this section, because it's a pretty wide section, I want to use my 2 clip pieces. So I'm going to put those together to create a 3 clip piece. So check this out. I'm going to put them together to create a 4 clip piece. So I'm going to put this one and this one together. I'm going to put a space in between them, because after this, so let's say these 2 are together, then I'm going to use, for the next section above it, I'm going to use a 3-piece one right in between on the top, and that's what's going to cover up any of the gaps. So here's a 2-piece over here. I'm using it right on the side of her hair. So bam, I have a 2-piece right here, and now the other one, I'm doing it right here. So there's a little bit of a gap, and I'm clipping in this last 2-piece. So here's the gap right here, which is not very detectable. And I'm just gonna run my fingers through, and check this out. Beautiful, thick, gorgeous hair. And now we can bring down the next section. And while I curl this section, we're gonna go ahead and answer some more questions. By the way, the questions that we're answering right now, the second, are from my last class. Remember how we did not do a Q&A in the last class for the Indian hair and makeup full tutorial? I'm answering those questions now.
Marsha Athani. is asking, could you please give tips to avoid makeup looking white on phone camera, photos during a nighttime event? I did a client who had a function in a lounge, basically just candles for light. Foundation had no SPF and color matched her skin tone perfectly, but the flashback was bad.
Uh-oh.
And she did a lot of highlight, and she's wondering if that was it.
That could be it. That's the thing. And so for those of you who didn't hear the question is how do you avoid a very, very white face with a cell phone flash or a dim light camera, flash cameras, things like that, even though you did not use an SPF foundation, which SPF foundations create flashbacks. So you want to stay away from foundations that have a major SPF when you're going to an evening event. Daytime event is fine because usually no flash photography is going to be happening. But if flash photography is going to be happening or cell phone photography, you want to make sure you're not using SPF. So she already said that she did not use SPF foundation. So in her case, she mentioned that she did highlight a lot. And highlights, a lot of highlights out there do carry ingredients in there that reflect. So if she overdid the highlight, which I don't believe there is such thing as overdoing your highlight, but you have to also complement it with enough contouring and enough bronzing. So if there's too much highlight going on for evening events and the face, after you're taking pictures, the face ends up looking super white, most likely it is the highlight product that was used or the amount of highlight that was used. So next time, try pairing it up with a lot of contouring and bronzing on the outer edges of the face. So not just underneath the cheekbone where you would normally contour, I would use a bronzer all throughout the outer parts of the cheeks, the outer parts of the jaw, the outer parts of the forehead, a little bit on the nose, just so that there's enough bronze color to counteract the white tone that's happening.
Here's one more. What do you recommend for really oily skin clients, primer and foundation?
Okay, so what do you recommend for super oily clients, primer and foundation? I love, actually there's, oh my gosh, there's so many different things that I would use, but it really depends on other factors too. So for example, one of the things primer-wise that I really like for oily skin clients is actually the MAC primer, the original Prep and Prime. It's not really meant for super oily skin, but for some reason, it worked a million times better for my oily skin clients than other primers out there that are meant for oily skin clients. So for example, I tried the Embryolisse primer, the mattifying primer for oily skin. I went to their booth at IMATS a couple years ago. They literally forced me to buy it because I went in for the original Embryolisse moisturizer, which is also used as a primer for normal skin. But then they're like, ooh, have you tried our mattifying primer for oily skin? And I was like, wow, I think I need that for my clients. And so they made me buy it, and I was pretty excited to try it. And then guess what? I tried it, and literally within 2 hours, my client texted me saying that her face was melting off. And that had never happened to me in my life. And so I was very, very embarrassed. And then I told her that I used this new product that claimed to be like the best. And she's like, oh my God, no, it absolutely does not work. I tried it one more time thinking maybe it was a client, right? So I tried it one more time on one other person. It was for a student. It was not a wedding or anything like that. I tried it on a student that had come in with a model for our in-person certification course a couple years back. That model said that she had oily skin. So I was like, you know what, let's give this a try one more time. And then when you come back from lunch break, I'll check out your skin. They left for lunch, they come back, and literally I saw that exact thing happening. The face was separating, the nose was separating, and it was really bad. So I literally threw it away. I never want to use it again. So that's my experience with that product. So then I realized, wow, the MAC Prep and Prime actually worked 1,000 times better than this product that is meant for oily skin. So I did that. Another thing that I like for one of the other things about oily skin is usually oily skin is paired with, okay, so right now I'm just teasing. Oily skin is paired with large pores. So Benefit's Porefessional Primer Balm is amazing to press into those areas that have larger pores, and it will help to minimize the effects of, you know, shininess and things like that too. So that really helps. And then also, of course, making sure that your clients carry oil blotting sheets with them throughout the day to absorb any oil without ruining the makeup. And for the foundation, I really like the MAC Pro Longwear foundation for oily skin, or the Lancome 24-hour Tint Eat All foundation. Those two are amazing for oily skin in general, for everyday or for special occasions. So now I'm just brushing through all this hair, and we're gonna go ahead and use that last large piece, which is the 3-piece, the 3-clip piece. I'm gonna put it right in here in the center. I'm gonna start with the middle comb and then work my way across. So now, check this out. Look at all this. Oh, yes, look at all this hair. This is crazy. Okay, so now that this is on, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna curl all the rest of the hair. I'm gonna finish the styling, and then I'm gonna save those single clip ones. Remember these little babies? The single clip ones I'm gonna save for the end. So once all the hair is done, I'm gonna see if there's any areas that need some extra length or need some extra fluff, and I'm gonna stick those in those areas. So for now, let's just go ahead and finish up the rest of the curling section by section, and while we do that, we can answer some more questions.
Nicole Francis is asking, would you space the clips differently on short hair?
Go
ahead.
Oh yeah, is that the end of the question?
There's some more added to that. It says, my hair is pretty thick but only shoulder length. How do I blend the extensions with my natural hair?
Okay, so so for shorter hair, there's a couple of different tips that I have. You want to space them the same as what I'm doing right now. The spacing really does not depend on the length of your hair as much as it does the amount of hair on your head. So if you have like very, very thin, sparse hair, then you want to make sure that your clip and hair extensions are towards the bottom so that the thinness on the top doesn't split up and you can't see it track. So you want to make sure most of your tracks are on the bottom half of your hair, not on the top if you have thinner hair. Now if you have short hair, there's another tip. After you do exactly what we did today, you want to check with your, whoever cuts your hair, you want to check with them and see if the extensions need trimming. Because sometimes one of the things that happen is if you have very short hair, let's say all your hair is like this length, like super short, like to the neck, and you wear long extensions, if you don't space your extensions up to the top, which I usually recommend not to, but you can if you tease your hair on the top to cover it up. So if you are gonna put your extensions pretty high up there, go ahead and tease the top so it covers up, or do a half up, half down look or something where it can cover up some of the top. But if you can't do that, I would recommend having your hair cutting specialist go ahead and trim some of the hair extension pieces so that it can end shorter and look like layers afterwards. So now all this hair is all one length. But if you cut some of your hair extension pieces to like here, then you can create some more movement so that your short hair can just look like another layer. So I do recommend doing the same thing that I'm doing today, but try to get your hair extensions layered and then labeled so you know which ones are short. So the ones that your hairstylist cuts shorter, those are the ones that are meant for the top half of your hair, and the ones that are longer are meant for the lower half of your hair. I really hope that made sense. But basically for shorter hair, it's gonna blend in a lot better if you have different lengths going on so no one can tell, oh, wow, I see her real hair.
Here's a makeup question.
Okay, makeup question.
What's the best way to remove lipstick when you have to change it several times during a photo shoot?
Okay, best way to remove lipstick if you have to change it several times during a photo shoot. What I like to do is I like to use the Neutrogena makeup wipes. And I wrap a wipe around my finger, and then I go ahead and wipe my finger on the lips, my lips or my client's lips, whatever the heck is going on. Because if you just use the wipe without wrapping it around your finger, the wipe is going to be an open tissue and it's going to touch the rest of the face, and there goes your makeup. So you want to wrap the wipe around your finger and then just go and wipe off your lipstick so that nothing else wipes off. Then you want to just add a little bit of powder, whatever's left on your powder brush and foundation brush. Go ahead and cover up their lips again and redo their lipstick. Done, easy. So if you guys are just joining us, go ahead and ask your questions on my latest hair post. Hair or makeup question is fine. And then after class, if there's any questions left, I can answer them after class. Otherwise, if we finish up all the questions, then we are good to go and you guys can practice, practice, practice. Take your screenshots, post them on Instagram. Make sure your profiles are not private so that I can actually see your posts. And let us know what your favorite part about class was. You can thank our model, Amitash D. You know, show us some love, we'll show you some love, and we'll be, you know, a wonderful, you know, support for each other too in our community.
My kids are actually watching right now.
How cute! The kids are watching. Hi, kids. Ooh, look at these waves. So gorgeous. Almost done.
A couple people are asking about certification.
Oh, okay. So a lot of questions about online certification. Is it the online certification?
Yes.
Okay. So we are working on that program. You know how picky I am. I want it to be perfect and ready. And what we're doing right now is the certification classes are already done and ready. But we are working on the quiz. I did mention that after every class, there's going to be a quiz test where you have to pass it in order to get to the next class. So right now we're working on those. And we're also working on our partnerships with all of the brands that are going to be accepting my certification for my students to get pro discounts. So far we have maybe about 15, 20 brands already in. We want a lot more. So we're actually in the process of doing that. And once everything is ready and finalized, then you will hear the announcement that it's ready. So hopefully within the next couple of months, it will be 100% ready. You won't miss my announcement though. I will announce it. And Dress Your Face Live members, before I even announce it on Instagram, you're gonna get an email first. So if you're a Dress Your Face Live member and an active one, you are going to receive an email before I announce it to the rest of them, because I don't want my courses to fill up with, you know, people who don't already watch my classes. I want you guys to be first, and then we will open up enrollment to the outsiders.
Here's another one. Whenever I clip in my extensions, I feel you can see the indentations of the clips. What's the best way to hide the clips?
Basically exactly what I'm doing right now, making sure that you're not clipping anything above the ear level or like too much higher than the ear level. So none of the clips should be higher than this. Basically the crown should not have anything so you don't see anything. Also making sure if you do tease the hair, then there will less likely be any indentations from the clips of your hair extensions.
Someone wants to know, what are some of your favorite lipsticks in your lip kit?
Ooh, oh my god, that's a loaded question. I have literally 1,000 lippies and I really, I change them up throughout, but I can tell you some of my favorite brands. And as far as colors, I make sure I have enough nudes, peaches, pinks, plums, browns, reds, pretty much, and really deep tones like burgundies and things like that. I make sure I just have enough of each category so that I can mix and match throughout. As far as brands, I love MAC lipsticks. Those are easiest for me because of the discount, and I just smash them into my lip book, the little tray thingy, so people can just look at the colors and pick what they want. As far as liquid lipsticks, I really love Anastasia Beverly Hills. I love, ColourPop, and my gosh, there's so many. You guys, if you're not on my Snapchat, you really should be, because that's where I talk about product and I do swatches all the time, almost every couple of days. And I show you all my new favorite things, including lips. That's probably one of the most common things that I show is lip stuff. But I also test foundations and concealers and brushes and all sorts of stuff. So my Snapchat name is DYF-Tamana. So it's DYF dash, just that little line, not the underscore, but a dash, and then TAMANA. okay? So once you find me there, and by the way, I have this information on my Instagram too. So if you're on my Instagram, go ahead and look at my bio description and it'll say what my Snapchat name is so you don't have to remember by the spelling of my name. So once you find me on Snapchat, go ahead and add me and you will then have access to all of my product reviews and my recommendations for your kits. All right. Now we're going to just work on that last section of hair. And we can continue with the question.
Would the ombre extensions blend in with highlighted hair? I have chocolate brown hair with honey highlights. Would it blend in?
Oh yes, so someone's asking, will the ombre hair extensions blend in with highlighted hair? It absolutely will. So if your highlights, like you said, are a dark chocolate brown that goes into more of a honey caramel tone, then you would use that combination in the ombre tone in my hair extension line. The reason why it will blend in is because, remember how I showed you? Let me show you again. Remember how I showed you that there's a dark color, there's a light color, and in between is several inches of highlight. So there's strips of blonde and brown in there, or whatever two colors you end up choosing from the list. So the highlighted section of the ombre hair is what's gonna blend in with your highlights the best, and everything's just gonna look so amazing that way. So instead of the typical ombre, which just goes from a dark to a light, which may not blend in, the highlights of this ombre hair is going to be perfect for your hair. Color-wise, just go on the website and choose the colors that best match your actual color combination going on in your head right now. BombayHair.com. And if your color is out of stock for now, don't worry, you can still order by and use the savings code that I gave you, which is ombre10. If you type in ombre10 for the Tamana ombre hair extensions that are out of stock, while you wait, you don't have to worry about, being gypped or anything with not saving anything. You get your savings, you can take advantage of that coupon code while you wait, and then you just wait a little extra for shipping because it's out of stock right now, but it ships, it'll tell you what date it ships on the website before you even order it, so you are fully in the loop.
Someone's asking, please do a class about how to start as a makeup artist when you do not have enough experience.
Okay, so someone's asking about how to be a makeup artist and how to start your business when you don't have a whole lot of experience, to have a class on that. I actually have several classes on that. There is a class on how I became a makeup artist, what did I do? There's also a class on business and marketing, how to market yourself and all that stuff. So if you want to see those classes, only because, I will be able to repeat those classes and show them again, or maybe bring them back to the homepage, only during like specials and like bonus months and things like that, or if it's been a long time since I taught it and I can just teach it again. But if you don't want to wait for that, you can go and get your all access pass, and it basically grants you access to every single class I've ever taught ever since the beginning of DressYourFaceLive.com. So every single class is on the All Access Pass, and you can watch all of those classes that I've done about business and marketing and how I became a famous makeup artist and all that stuff, so you can also learn what it takes and how I got here. And I'm just going to finish up curling all of this, and if you guys have more questions, we'll go ahead and go through them as well.
Samara, you're amazing. And I
Aww.
love you.
I love you guys. Thank you so much. Honestly, like the support you guys have shown me on Instagram and on Dress Your Face Live and on, all the Snapchat and things like that have just been absolutely amazing. I'm literally here for you. You guys know that. Everything we do is based on your responses and your desires, your wishes. So if there are like classes that you're dying for me to teach or any, requests, please do make a post on Instagram, tag me, hashtag DressYourFaceLive, so you can tell me on those posts. So if you're new here, one of the things that I like to do is go through my hashtag and see if you guys have any requests. I can read it that way because it's very hard to keep up with comments sometimes. But on my hashtag, I can definitely keep up with posts. And the way that I will open up your post and see it is when you post a picture of class. That way I know that you're a member, and I'm gonna open up that post to see what's your feedback. I love to hear your feedback. I have an entire team of customer service and social media service that checks all your posts and make sure that you're happy. So what I would recommend is if you have a suggestion on what class I should teach next, or if you have some feedback for us, go ahead and post a picture from this class. Like take some screenshots and post it on your Instagram and hashtag JustYourFaceLive. You can tag me, you can tag my model, whatever you want to do. And we'll go through it, we'll like it, we'll show you some love. And if you guys have special requests, you can write it in your description of that post. So for example, if you're gonna post a picture right here, I'm gonna post for you. So if you screenshot this and take the picture and post it or whatever it is, under that post you can be like, hey, my favorite part about class was learning how to hide your hair extensions, and my request for the next class is I don't know, Arabic eye, whatever you want to learn. So that's how we're going to be able to see all your requests. So I definitely recommend you guys make your posts, let me see them. We can give you our love too, we can like your posts, but make sure that your page is not private, because if it's private, we're not going to see it. It's gonna be hidden from everybody. But if your page is public, then I will be able to see your posts, we will all be able to see it, and we can show you our love. So I'm just finishing up here. Are there any other questions?
I think
Oh, cool, good for now.
somebody wants to see a picture of your nails on Instagram later.
Oh, I posted it, but it's like scroll down. It's me holding the Saleha Beauty Compact. So if you scroll down my Instagram, you'll find that picture. Well, right now there's like hairspray all over my nails, so you can't really see. They're mattified. Wait, let me see if I can find that picture. Because I can't even remember if I really did even post it. Let me check.
Right here.
Oh, yay, there it is. Thank you. Here it is. That's my current nails. They've grown out a lot since then, so I had to add nail polish to my blank ones, but hopefully I can get them done again next week. I've just been really, really busy. Thank you. Okay, last section. So I'm just giving it a nice wrapping curl. I'm gonna let it go. And now, I'm gonna open up all her hair, make sure it's looking amazing. Oh, there's one little piece that escaped, so I'm gonna go ahead and curl this real fast. Bring that in. Okay, so here's all the hair, nice and curly, everything's done. So now I'm gonna go in and see if there's any areas that need a little extra length. So looking at the side right here, I see a lot of short hair, and then I see the long extension. So right in here, I do wanna apply one more or two more pieces of the hair extension right in here to cover up this empty area right here on the shoulder. So I'm gonna grab a couple of the pieces of these babies, and I'm gonna stick them right in. These are the single babies. Now, as you can see, it covered up a lot of that empty space here. So when all this hair goes over it, it's fully hidden, you're not gonna be able to see anything, and it covered up that empty area that didn't have any layers in it. And now I'm gonna check the other side to see if there's an empty area too, and there is. Do you see all this long hair here, and then all this short hair here? So I'm going to open up a section of hair here, and I'm going to throw in some of those hair, the last two pieces of the singles, right in there. Bam. Now I can brush through them. Now we have some long hair towards the front that will hide some of that shorter hair. And check that out. So much better, so much bouncier, and everything just blends right in. So now I can bring in all this hair to the front, and we have this amazing, sexy, ombre effect going on, and everything looks blended and perfect. And let's say you've done this and for some reason your hair just isn't perfectly blended into the ombre extensions yet. Go through with a very soft brush like this, and you can brush through as many times as it takes until your real hair blends into the ombre. This is what I recommend if your real hair does not have ombre color in it. So if your real hair is a solid color and you're putting in the ombre extensions to add some fun elements to your hair, then you would benefit from brushing through it so that your own hair looks like it's naturally ombre. So you know how a blending brush is to a makeup artist and blending eyeshadow? That's what this type of brush is to a hairstylist blending your hair. So now you can see how much more blended it is. Amitosh, why don't you stand up for us? I'm gonna move this chair, and now you can see all of this hair completely blended in, and it just looks so heavenly. The more I brush, the more blended it looks. Isn't that insane? It's literally like a blending brush. This is what it is, literally. Like, I kind of don't ever want to stop brushing your hair, girl, because like it's because it's like giving me so much life right now. No joke. Look at that, you guys. Go ahead and like take a few steps back. Yeah, a little bit forward.
Right
Yeah, right there. And you can see how smooth everything looks. Okay, so now that we're done with that, I'm gonna let you take a seat again. We're gonna bring all this to the front so you can really see the smoothness of the effect of brushing through your extensions. Be careful that you're not snagging on any clips or anything. You just wanna do a nice soft brush through. Wow.
So pretty.
So gorgeous. Alrighty, so that concludes this wonderful class. I'm just going to spin her around so you guys can see the full effect of the hair. Check that out. So beautiful. Everything is so nicely blended. And as you can see, the highlights in the actual hair extensions makes everything blend into your own hair so much easier. So whether you have a solid one color hair, or if you have highlighted hair, or if you have an ombre, this set is definitely going to work for you. And because it is real human hair, you're allowed to color it and tone it and do all the things that you would do for your own hair. So now I'm going to say bye to her because she has a flight to catch. Yes. Are we okay on time?
Yeah, we're good.
Good. Thank you so much. And you can find her on Amitosh D on Instagram. I have tagged her in my Instagram video post, so you guys can follow her and give her your love, and make sure that you do tag both of us and hashtag Dress Your Face Live on your posts, and of course give us your feedback and everything like that. I'm just gonna double check if there are any remaining questions, because we answered so many questions throughout this entire hour-and-a-half long class that we did for you. So I think we actually got through every question, but let me make sure we are not missing anything really crazy, so that you know, once we are done with all the questions, we can say bye and you can go about your day. So I'm only seeing one extra question here that we did not get earlier, which is by Hair and Makeup by Tharsh _. Did you end up getting the mannequin head? Any recommendations for a good one? P.S. Can you please ask your team to upload Ria's S-Wave? Okay, so team, Ria Ray's S-Wave class, we need to add that to the all access pass, make sure that's there. And also, okay, regarding the mannequin head, no, I ended up not getting any mannequin head. I've been so busy I haven't even had a chance to practice or play around. I've just been working on real models. But I do want to buy a mannequin head with amazing hair because I want to start doing fun videos, and I think you all should be doing that too. If you have fun videos and you want to make some for Bombay Hair and I, we will both gladly repost it if it turned out amazing. Bombay Hair loves reposting. Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. But Bombay Hair loves reposting really good quality hair videos using our tools. So if any of you out there have a good recommendation for a mannequin head company, please tag them in my latest post because I would love to get in touch with them, and maybe we could even do like, a live giveaway online or something if I end up liking any of those companies. But no, I haven't tried anything. So if any of you guys have recommendations, go ahead and write them in the comments of this post, this video post that I posted on Instagram. Let me just double check on the last classes question and answer thing because I want to make sure I'm not missing any from there. Yep, I think we got through all the questions. The only other question was, when are we going to upload the bridal hair updo video? And like I said, there was a huge issue with the memory card that whole video was uploaded on. Recorded to, and so we just have to make sure that if there's a way that we can recover that, or I can just reshoot the whole thing, which I'm happy to. I have no problem doing that. So once we figure out what's going on, we can either reshoot it or try to get that up as soon as possible because we've been encountering an issue with that specific memory card. This is a brand new memory card, and technology is, like I said, it's something that's amazing and we've created it, but we don't always have control over everything. So I'm surprised that this is actually the only time we've ever had an issue with all these, past like almost 2 years of doing this. So yeah, once in a while something will happen, but I can absolutely re-record it and reshoot it with my model with Asifa once we both have our schedules open, which will be soon. And we'll put that up as soon as possible. But until then, thank you for your patience. I hope you enjoyed the makeup class. Here it was, in case you guys have missed it. It was this look. So this hair and this makeup, the dupatta pinning, the tikka placement, all that was shown in that class. So we've uploaded the makeup portion and the dupatta pinning, but the only thing that's left to upload, which we will be uploading as soon as we either reshoot it or recover the card, is the hairstyle, the updo, and the tikka placement, okay? So you're taken care of, don't worry, we'll make sure you're okay, and if you have any suggestions for us, please do make a post on the Dress Your Face Live hashtag. Love you guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time we have a class. Bye.